The Radio Misfits Podcast Network.
The Honest Edit Podcast. Unpacking the truth about life's messes, one honest conversation at a time. With your host, Scarlett, the no-fluff, get-it-done mindset coach, and Holly, your go-to for all things practical, balancing chaos with compassion.
Oh, yeah. Welcome to the Honest Edit. This is why you always want to do the intros, because I'm not really good at it. I'm still learning how to do an intro.
It's kind of weird.
Here, I'll start over. Welcome to the Honest Edit with your hosts, Scarlett and Holly. And we're talking about reclaiming forgotten spaces today. That could be a fun subject.
Yeah. I feel like I've always got it in my mind that I need to do this, this, and this, because that's just how my brain works and how I mean, y'all are going to laugh, but that's the way I relax, is reorganize shit. Shocking. If you know me, you know that. But if you've ever said to yourself, like, I don't have enough space, or, you know, I can't bring this in because there's enough space, good job, you're listening. But this is your your permission slip to say, like, let's think about it differently in your home.
Mm-hmm.
So here's what I mean by that. If you have room for 40 shoes and you have 80 pairs of shoes, you do not have enough space.
Mm-hmm.
You need to purge.
Mm-hmm.
If you have space for 40 shoes and you have 45 shoes, this is the way what we're telling you is to go and do a little edit. Don't be so excessive that there's definitely not space, because yes, we have these homes built in the 50s. There are closets made for like 3 dresses and 1 pair of shoes. We have way more stuff than that now, especially if you have a family. You've got all the little things. So this episode is about helping you guys transform one space at a time, so it's not daunting. You can go a little bit at a time and then feel better about the clutter.
Well, also, there could be even those spaces that are literally forgotten about. For example, for me, I have this closet that's upstairs. And really, for my household, upstairs means I've got my, daughter's bedroom, my mother-in-law's bedroom. We have the library, which is just kind of like a landing point. So it's just almost a room that we don't technically use. It's just kind of pretty. It's pretty when you get upstairs and you see that and you go, oh, library. And then you like move on with your life, right? And I'm fine with that. That's okay. It's really not a functioning room, in a sense, really where I want it to be functional anyways. But my husband's office is up there. 2 things happened for my upstairs space that I'm going to touch on, because I just thought of it as I said his office, because that was like a second living room for us. And we never used it. For 8 years, we had a second living room that we kind of went upstairs, but it was like, then you're not by the kitchen and it's not, I don't know. And so we had him in the library, which was his office at that point. It was dark in there. It was just hard for him to see. It was a tighter space. He always had the upstairs living room TV playing, but he could like barely hear it. Or if he did turn it up too high, then we can like barely hear ourselves. So one day I got this, I think, brilliant idea. So I'm going to pat myself in the back for this. But I go to him and I say, I want to make an executive office for you, because it's the land of the forgotten living room and it's not being properly utilized. And he's really good about change, but there are some things where he's just like, I don't even want to deal with that. He was so overwhelmed. He was actually studying for an exam. So he felt like because he couldn't really see upstairs, he was in the dining room table as well. And this is where I'm going, nope, we need to consolidate you and all your stations between the TV and your office and the darkness that you keep complaining about. And then my dining room table is now filled with your financial books. And so I talked him into making an executive office for him. And at first he was I just don't think he wanted to take on the task. So I just basically did it for him.
Yeah, congrats on that.
Thank you. So I had swapped our furniture because back then our furniture downstairs was a lot smaller and the furniture upstairs was bulky and whatever. But I really wanted to swap it because I thought it'd be very pretty downstairs. It's white and tufted and modern and restoration hardware-ish, and I loved it. And so that was an excuse, really, to swap that. Once I made the change and got that other furniture that's more like kind of business, leather couch and whatever, I turned the entire space around into his office. And now he loves it so much that he even wants like TV time up there. And I'm going, no, I'm more comfortable downstairs still with that, concept. But the whole point of me bringing up upstairs is that we have this closet and I was hanging on to big pillows and linen items that we don't use and pillows I didn't really want to let go.
Yeah.
But I don't even do that style anymore.
Right.
Whatever. So I actually now, because I had changed his office over, that was sort of his storage for his office, and it cleaned up the library and made the library really pretty and beautiful. Basically, I took all the ugly books and put it in there. I put his office supply backstock in there. I put his files in there, and then I put like his little memory special stuff. I made a bin and put that in there as well.
Yeah.
But now it's kind of become like Monica's closet on Friends.
Yeah.
If you open it, might come back on you. So it's kind of a forgotten closet for me right now.
Right.
It has served several purposes, but the point of me bringing it up, see, look, I'm coming full circle here, is seasons change. And it worked for a hot minute as his office closet, but he doesn't even utilize it. I utilize it as his office closet. And now it's just jumped up and we throw crap in there because we have a party or an event and now I need to go do it again and change it and repurpose it because it's a forgotten storage space and I have other problems around the house. So maybe I should sit down and go, I have a closet that's underutilized.
Yeah.
And it was a great idea for a hot minute for this category and now this category, and now I need to change it again.
Yeah, I feel like I have a few things too like that, a few spaces that just don't, they just kind of sit there and sometimes they're functional and then sometimes they're not. Like under the bed is always a space that can be cleaned up. The other day, we actually switched out, we have heated mattress pads because I'm a grandma and I'm bougie, and we took it off because it was summertime. So I took it off and I got under the bed, and the boxes that we had under the bed weren't really functional anymore, and I like the plastic ones because then the dogs can't get into them. So I took those out, I cleaned up, I gave some pillows away that we don't use anymore, and now like I have 3 boxes under the bed, everything's there, the dogs live on one side and the boxes are there. I was able to clean out things from the linen closet that are seasonal that go under there. So it's just easier and I have less stuff. We are also a family who does not use the flat sheet. We only use fitted sheets because we're all like starfish sleepers and we're all over the place and try and have a flat sheet. And you know what I did? I got rid of it.
Yeah.
I put it in donation. And I was holding on to it for a long time because I was like, this could be a fort. We could use this for something. And I'm like, no, I have a minimal amount of space in my laundry or in my linen. I don't even have a closet. It's a cabinet.
Yeah.
And so I got rid of it. And it was just so nice because it was a simple change. Everything got refolded and put away, and it looks so nice now. And now I know, like, oh, yeah, I have an extra tablecloth that we need to use for the summertime. But those hall closets, under the bed, laundry rooms, what's in your laundry room that you haven't looked at in forever? Like, what's hiding in those upper cabinets? Because, those builders, they love to put those big-ass high cabinets in there. And if it's not labeled and it's not in there, it just hides back there.
Yeah.
I have minimal storage space, and I know some of us have lots and lots of storage space. I saw this beautiful room the other day on Instagram that was like as big as a freaking garage, and it was all beautiful storage and everything was labeled. And I'm like, yes, I would love to live in that. I don't want that much stuff, but like for a business or something, that's great. That's not how it works in the real world with the people in my neighborhood. But in the laundry room, I have everything labeled. And that is why, yes, we are very particular about labels and intentionally placing things. And that's kind of where that's our like talent. That's where our expertise come in. So like, yes, you can sort and categorize and organize things, but unless you're really thinking through from the beginning to the end of where something goes and why it needs to be here, or even how it needs to be organized in that container or that space, unless it's like labeled,
What's the point?
Like you just
and you want to keep it simple, like as a specific category that can be labeled.
Yes.
If you make it too broad or too miscellaneous, or I literally did see a miscellaneous label in an Instagram post the other day, and I go, that's going to be a problem child.
Yeah.
Kind of been.
Yeah.
But if you do, like, let's say, create a category in an office space, you can label it office supplies or printing needs, or maybe it's a magazine holder, and it's I live with an Italian family. When I'm like making I'm literally talking with my hands. I'm not even Italian, I'm French. Don't hold that against me. But I always feel like I have to apologize for being
I don't think
French.
you have to. I saw the other day, they're like, why are French people so rude? And he goes, we're not rude, we're honest.
I know.
There's no filter.
I mean, our podcast is literally called
Yeah.
The Honest Edit.
Yeah. We're going to talk about all the things without the filter. I just don't have time for sugarcoating. Like, even with Max, I'm like, look, this is what it is. Like, giving you the information for your age. So, like, this is what it is. There's no, like, you got to be ready to adult and feel the feelings and get through life. So, like, sometimes, like, I want the coddling or, like, the kindness and the empathy, but, like, I also, like, let's be
Tough love.
real and the tough love, because
I'm that friend that's going to and coach and your organizer / therapist that's going, and I say it all the time to clients, okay, well, I might have to tough love you on this because, and I come with a warning label, here's your disclaimer,
same,
because I'd rather you hear it and know that my form of giving love to you is really just telling you the truth.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. Like, we're not getting paid to sugarcoat. We need things to happen. And it just seems energy too. I was having a conversation with a client the other day about how they're one of my favorite clients because they actually listen. They do what I say. Like, we can have those conversations. She's like, I don't know if you want to fraternize with your clients. And I was like, basically all my clients become my friends.
right.
Because we go through these big things together. It's like, yes, there are some clients that like will come in and out and we're doing a space and we're done. But it's most diverse. Like, I know their family. I come back. I'm going through all their stuff. Like, they become part of the subscription. Like, that's just kind of how it works. So we're doing these things intentionally. And if you're doing this on your own or you have an idea for something, like, really think through what it could be and just some steps on how to get there, and just kind of reframe that you're not lacking the space. There's just too much stuff.
You need to revisit your spaces and what you're intentionally using them for, and then say, does that work for my life right now?
Right.
And then just devote some time where you can either chunk it out or you can schedule a day where you can spend a couple of hours and like make that space what you need or want.
Right.
And so it's really pausing for a hot second, walking through your house and going, does this really need to be an entire cabinet full of candles, or can I use this now for my craft projects, and then say at that point, okay, do I need all these candles? Or can this go in, obviously, air-conditioned storage or something like that?
Or, yes, like...
It's like how you store it. So
yes.
Maybe if you're not dipping into the candles right now, because, I mean, I'm literally just coming up with random crap. Right. Because it's not Christmas and you pull all that out for the holidays. Perhaps it goes in a storage bin and it goes up and away. And you bring that out as a seasonal item. Yeah, you rotate or something.
I love this seasonal rotation. Yes. And we had a conversation the other day. Some of my girlfriends, one of them was moving and she had all this glassware, and another friend wanted some of them. And I was like, what you could do is you could like give 2 glasses and like a a bottle of tequila or something with like the glassware and make it like a gift. And then, yes, that person that's getting that is like, oh, this will be great. Bless you. Sorry, I was trying to hold it in. Don't ever hold in his sneeze. It would be like, yes, this person gets 2 glasses or whatever, but it could be, something fun, or they could like pass it down the line. So there are ways to like get creative, but I think that I'm constantly, and especially because I have a little one, and you guys know that like I organize it in my brain to have fun, and that's like how I unwind too. But like there's always little spaces that we'll get, even though there's a system there, and there's the right labeling or whatever, like it just gets junky because that is life. And we are not like, I am sorry, I am not always putting shit back where it goes.
Right.
My kid is not doing that. It's not always how it happens.
Because I'm always thinking, like, we coach our clients, okay, system in place, let's do, let's identify the new habits, let's do some habit stacking, let's do all these things. But then I have to take a step back and go, well, what do we do? And how do we reset? And how do we identify and then prioritize? I think if things have changed a lot, whether that's seasonally or your kids are doing different things or different sports, or you're into now like beading and versus like crocheting, feeling out words. Yeah. So you need to, when things start changing due to those reasons, I think that's a great point to take a step back and go, all right, things are getting a little crowded. Things are getting a little junked up. Like my office was totally out of whack 2 days ago because I'm doing a fundraiser right now. So I'm getting all the boxes in for the swag bag. And then I had to move my trunk in here because I redesigned my library and I don't have a spot for it. But I love the trunk. The trunk, it's 120 years old. It brings me joy. It's for all you Marie Kondo fans out there. And so I want to keep it, but I don't know where the hell to put it. So that's my woe right now. But my office was a hot mess. And I had all stuff all over here and whatever. And so I had to take an hour. It took me 1 hour to do my office and my closet. And I reset all the bins. I got rid of some things. I'm like, why am I hanging on to this? I got rid of stuff that my husband forgot about. And so, I was like, we can let this go now because he's not going to remember. It's been like 3 years.
They don't always remember. And this is also something in the space that we're in right now, like the world. These are things you can control in your home.
Yeah.
Like that can help you have a clutter-free and clear mind and intentional just focus in your house of like, I can't control what's happening on out there, but in here I can control how the front door works, how the pantry works, how the garage shoe bin looks or whatever. So those are just little things that, because we're organizers and this is what we do, we're constantly doing it in our own homes.
Yes.
I mean, obviously we do it for clients every day, but it's just a good little habit to get into. So,
and everything starts at home anyways. Like if you feel strongly about what's going on in the world and you want to get more involved in the community, well, you need to start at home first. Because we have clients that give so much to the community and nothing to themselves. They even have on the flip side expectations of their community or other people, but they don't put those same values in their own home.
Yeah.
And so everything starts at home. You just need to take a step back, identify, prioritize always, and then put systems, habits in place that help you stay efficient and productive, and then have the consistency to do that.
Right.
And then just reset when you feel like it's a good time to reset for you, whether that's seasonally, every month, or when things just start changing.
Yeah. So we invite you guys to choose one forgotten space, whether it's the linen closet, behind under the bed, your makeup drawer, where you store the toilet paper, like one space in your house. It doesn't have to be a huge space, but
or a huge project.
Just it could be a drawer, it could be a shoebox, and do a little transformation. So you like go through those things that we talked about earlier about asking yourself, what do I use this for? Is this functional now? And let us know how it turned out.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us on The Honest Edit, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.
The Honest Edit Podcast. Unpacking the truth about life's messes, one honest conversation at a time. With your host, Scarlett, the no-fluff, get-it-done mindset coach. And Holly, your go-to for all things practical, balancing chaos with compassion.